Between now and the end of 2026, the sky above your head is going to put on a show that most normal years never deliver, starting with a comet older than the solar system that is fading from view right now. In late April, the moon is going to swallow a bright star for the last time in almost 20 years. In July, Mars literally kisses Uranus at a distance narrower than 1/5 of the full moon. And on one single day in August, the sun is going to go completely black over Spain and Iceland, while a moonless meteor shower rains down overhead on the exact same night. That is one day, and we are nowhere near done. So here is what we are going to do. I am taking you through everything in order, from what is happening in the sky literally right now to how the year closes out on Christmas Eve. Every date, time, and magnitude comes straight from NASA, Earth Sky, the American Meteor Society, Sky and Telescope magazine, and timeanddate.com. Some of these you need a telescope for. Most of them you do not. Grab a jacket. We are going outside. Right now through late spring, an interstellar comet from another solar system is passing through our neighborhood. You might have seen headlines in late 2025 about an interstellar comet called 3I Atlas. Here is the actual deal. Atlas is only the third confirmed interstellar object ever tracked in human history. The first was Oumuamua in 2017, the second was Borisov in 2019. Those are the entire list, and 3I Atlas is right up there with them. It blew into our solar system at around 137,000 miles per hour. It peaked at roughly 153,000 miles per hour near the sun last October, and it is currently drifting back out into deep space. NASA's Juno spacecraft tried to photograph it when it flew past Jupiter in March. The James Webb Space Telescope found a coma dominated by carbon dioxide. Spectroscopy revealed unusual amounts of nickel compared to iron. Age estimates place this thing somewhere between 7 to 14 billion years old. If the upper end of that estimate is right, this comet is older than the sun, older than Earth, older than every single atom currently making up your body. Here is the catch. By mid-2026, it is fading past the range of most backyard telescopes. So if you have a serious astrophotography setup, the next few weeks are genuinely your last real window. After that, only professional observatories can track it. Once it leaves, it is gone, back into the dark between the stars, forever. Late April. The moon swallows Regulus for the last time in 18 years. On the night of April 25th into April 26th, a little over a week from now, the moon passes directly in front of Regulus. Regulus is the bright blue heart of the constellation Leo. Its magnitude is plus 1.4, easily visible to the naked eye. For a chunk of time, it just vanishes behind the lunar limb, then reappears on the other side like nothing happened. The whole thing is visible from the eastern United States, the Caribbean, and northern South America. Here is why it matters. Lunar occultations of bright stars happen in cycles. The current series of Regulus occultations is wrapping up with this exact event, and after April 26th, the lower 48 states in the United States will not see another Regulus occultation until 2044. That is an 18-year wait. If you live in the visibility zone, go outside, watch it happen. It is one of those quiet, ordered universe moments where the solar system's moving parts actually click into place right in front of you, and you will not get this view again for nearly 2 decades. June 8th. Venus and Jupiter put on an easy show. Fast forward about 6 weeks. On the evening of June 8th, step outside after sunset, look low in the western sky, and you will see 2 objects that look like they are about to bump into each other. One of them is Jupiter, the other is Venus. They are going to sit roughly 1.6 degrees apart in the constellation Gemini. That is about 3 full moons worth of sky between them, which is basically nothing. Venus is going to be genuinely brilliant. Magnitude -4.0, bright enough that if you live in a city, you will see it before the sky is fully dark. Jupiter is right next to it at -1.8, looking like someone hung a slightly smaller diamond next to the first one. Mercury is kicking around the same area because it is near its greatest eastern elongation, so you actually get a three-planet party happening in the blue dusk. Is it going to change your life? Probably not. But two of the brightest objects in the entire night sky sitting almost on top of each other right after sunset is the kind of thing that makes your non-astronomy friends stop walking and ask you what they are looking at. Easy win. July 4th, Mars literally kisses Uranus. Less than a month later, on the morning of July 4th, things get nerdier. Mars and Uranus pass within 6 arc minutes of each other in the constellation Gemini. For reference, that is about 1/5 the width of the full moon. They are basically touching from our perspective. Mars has magnitude plus 1.3, glowing orange and obvious in the pre-dawn sky. Uranus, at magnitude plus 5.7, is normally frustrating to find because it just looks like another faint star. But now you have the brightest orange object in that patch of sky acting as a giant neon arrow pointing directly at it. Point a pair of binoculars at Mars, and Uranus will be right there in the same field of view, looking like a pale green-blue dot. Mars is going to be about 158 times brighter than Uranus that morning. So if you have ever wanted to see an ice giant with your own eyes, the 4th of July is your shot. Plus, you get to say you spent Independence Day looking at Uranus. That is objectively a great sentence to say out loud. August 12th, the day everything happens at once, and now we hit the main event. If I could pick one single day out of all of 2026 to be outside, it would be August 12th. Because on that one day, 3 astronomical events stack on top of each other in a way they basically never do. Part 1. The first total solar eclipse over mainland Spain since August 30th, 1905. That is 121 years. And for Iceland, this is the only total solar eclipse of the entire 21st century. The path of totality cuts across Iceland, brushes western Greenland, and then sweeps across northern Spain from Galicia down to the Balearic Islands. In Reykjavik, totality lasts 59 seconds with the sun 24 degrees above the horizon. In Burgos, Spain, totality runs 1 minute and 43 seconds at sunset, with the sun only about 8 degrees above the western horizon. Imagine that. Totality happening just above the horizon, the shadow of the moon racing across the Mediterranean landscape. It is going to be one of the most photographed astronomical events in human history. If you are not in the path of totality, most of the UK and Western Europe still catch a 90% or greater partial eclipse. Eastern North America catches a smaller bite. Newfoundland gets 53%. New York gets 9.5%. Part 2. That exact same night, the Perseid meteor shower hits its peak, up to 100 meteors per hour. And for the first time in 8 years, the moon is completely new at the moment of peak, which means genuinely black sky. Eclipse chasers on the Iberian Plateau can literally walk out of totality and into the darkest Perseid night in almost a decade. Part 3. 16 days later, on August 28th, Earth's shadow grips the moon in a 96.2% partial lunar eclipse, nearly total. The moon turns blood orange with just a thin, bright sliver along the northern edge. It is the deepest partial lunar eclipse of the entire decade, and it is fully visible from most of the United States east of the Rockies, Atlantic Canada, Mexico, and South America. 1 calendar month, 3 historic sky events. This is why 2026 is not a normal year in the sky. If you made it this far, you are the kind of person who actually wants to be outside for this stuff. Hit subscribe. I do these astronomical event breakdowns every couple of months, and I also do deep dives on weird space phenomena. Now let us get you through the rest of the year. October 4th, Saturn's rings come back from the dead. If you tried looking at Saturn through a telescope in 2024 or early 2025, you probably had a sad moment, because Saturn's rings were tilted almost edge onto us, which made them look like a thin line or basically disappear entirely. That happens once every 15 years, and it was, scientifically speaking, kind of a bummer. But 2026 fixes it. By October 4th, when Saturn reaches opposition, the rings will be tilted back to around 7.5 degrees. That is the first genuinely photogenic Saturn season in years. The planet sits at magnitude plus 0.3, visible all night in the constellation Cetus. And through literally any backyard telescope, you will once again see rings. Not a line, actual rings. If you have never seen Saturn through a telescope in person, here is my honest advice. Find a local astronomy club. Borrow someone's scope. Because looking at that planet the first time is one of those experiences that just does not translate through photos. October 6th, the moon eats Jupiter and takes out 3 moons on the way through. 2 days after Saturn's big night, at pre-dawn on October 6th, a waning crescent moon drifts across the sky and slowly slides in front of Jupiter. The whole event runs between about 4:15 and 5:45 in the morning, Eastern Time, for the US East Coast. Here's the part that makes this ridiculous. The moon does not just occult Jupiter, it occults Jupiter's biggest moons too, in sequence. Europa goes first, then Io, then Callisto, then the moon blocks out Jupiter itself. Then Ganymede is covered last. It is a 5-act cosmic performance happening in slow motion in the pre-dawn sky. Lunar occultations of Jupiter, visible from populated North America, only happen a handful of times per decade. Getting one where every Galilean moon is occulted in sequence during the same event is the kind of thing backyard astronomers save their whole October for. Any small telescope will show you the entire show. October 13th, an asteroid you can see with your actual eyes. 1 week after the Jupiter occultation, on the night of October 13th, a giant space rock called Vesta reaches opposition. Vesta is one of the biggest objects in the asteroid belt between Mars and Jupiter. It is roughly 326 miles across. NASA's Dawn spacecraft orbited Vesta from 2011 to 2012, and it sent back some of the most detailed asteroid photos we have ever seen. And on October 13th, from a genuinely dark site, you can see Vesta with just your naked eyes. It reaches magnitude plus 6.3, right at the edge of what the human eye can detect. You will need to be away from city lights, and a star chart on your phone will help. But think about what you are actually doing. Looking at a rock older than Earth, orbiting the sun out there between Mars and Jupiter with nothing but your eyeballs. That is absurd in a good way. December 13th, the best meteor shower of the year. Jump ahead to mid-December. Put December 13th into 14th on the calendar. The Geminid meteor shower peaks with a zenithal hourly rate of 150 meteors. That is more than 2 meteors every minute at maximum. And here's the beautiful part. A 21% crescent moon sets in early evening, which means the rest of the night is genuinely dark. No moon glare washing out the faint ones. Just you, a cold December sky, and a fat stream of debris from a weird little asteroid called 3200 Phaethon burning up in Earth's atmosphere at about 22 miles per second. Fun fact, Phaethon is what astronomers call a rock comet. It swings closer to the sun than Mercury does and basically sweats out dust as it heats up. We fly through that dust every December. Japan's destiny. Plus mission is going to visit Phaethon in the near future. But until then, you can basically shake hands with pieces of it as they streak across the sky. Just bring a blanket. It gets cold. December 24th, a Christmas Eve supermoon to close out the year. 11 days after the Geminids, on December 24th, 2026, the full moon reaches its closest point to Earth for the entire year at 356,740 kilometers, about 221,600 miles. That sounds far until you realize the moon's average distance is around 384,000 kilometers. The difference is enough that this moon appears roughly 8% larger and 16% brighter than an average full moon. Exact peak fullness lands at 8:28 p.m. Eastern Time on December 23rd. For Western Europe, it is the early hours of Christmas morning itself. Either way, you get a giant glowing beach ball of a moon rising right as everyone is wrapping presents. You do not need a telescope, you do not need anything. Just look up. A Christmas Eve supermoon hanging over winter snow is the kind of thing that makes the whole year feel like it wraps itself up with a bow. 2026 has a flair for the dramatic. So here is your actual 2026 sky calendar in one breath. The interstellar comet fading right now, the Regulus occultation in late April, Venus and Jupiter in early June, Mars and Uranus on the 4th of July, the total solar eclipse and the Perseid stacking on August 12th, a near-total lunar eclipse 16 days later, Saturn's rings back in business on October 4th, the Galilean moon cascade on October 6th, Vesta naked eye on October 13th, the Geminids on December 13th, and the Christmas Eve supermoon closing out the year. Some of these events you will remember for the rest of your lifetime. Some of them will not happen again in your lifetime at all. Which one are you actually planning to be outside for? Let me know in the comments. And if you want more stuff like this, I have a full video on what the sky is doing this month ready for you next. See you under the stars.